really long time ago, me and Katelyn made a pact at the young ages of 13 and 14 that even if we weren't talking to each other, we would be bridesmaids in each other's weddings. I remember when she first met John, her freshman year of high school. You know, a part of me still had reservations about John when she said that she was getting together with him. You know, just protect my friend. It took him so long to realize how wonderful she was. But I had never seen her so happy. So that's all that mattered. A lot of years have passed since then, and I've had the privilege to watch as they've learned the ins and outs of love. I'm forever grateful to our pact because of it, I got to watch my best friend marry her best friend.
Katelyn, first I would like to say I love you. You're strong, beautiful, brave, kind, and thoughtful. You care for everyone and always see the best in people. On the first day of high school, we became best friends. Our connection was strong even then. 4 years later, you kissed me, and I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with you. Later that night, I texted you just that. And any other girl would have turned and ran, but not you. After that, we started dating. And that friendship that always felt so natural transformed into this partnership that can change the world. I've never felt the need to hide who I am around you. For you are patient and understanding. You are thoughtful, and you have this remarkable capacity to positively influence the lives of those around you. I cherish every day you are with me and look forward to spending the rest of my life with you.
Jonathan, my love, I knew that the day I met you at just 14 that you were going to be a very meaningful person in my life. 14-year-old me would so not believe that we are here today, because I have always believed in marrying your best friend, and here I am doing just that. Even in high school, we were drawn to each other in a way we just couldn't quite understand yet, and we had our struggles as teens do. However, we always came back ready to help each other and move forward. Your strength amazes me, and you are the best man I know. Our children are so blessed and honored to have you to look up to, and so am I. You have truly taught me so much in the past 6 years as we grew up together, and I have loved so many versions of you, and I'm excited to learn who you'll become in this life together.
Thank you for sharing your vows with all of us. The rings you are about to place on each other's fingers symbolize the love you expressed. They will remind you of the vows you have just spoken and of the love you share. As you look at these rings over the years, I hope you remember that you've created something invaluable. And just as I know you'll protect these rings, I'm confident you'll protect these commitments you've made to one another today.
It's so
Jonathan and Katelyn, you have just sealed your relationship by giving and receiving the rings. So now that you guys are stuck with each other, we will begin a symbolic expression of the family union. So before you are 2 containers of sand. The gray sand is Jonathan's and the pink is Katelyn's. The sand represents you, all that you have been, all that you are, and all that you will be. Just as these grains can no longer be separated into individual containers, so shall your lives forever be intertwined. Please pour half of your sand into the vessel. Jonathan and Katelyn, you have expressed your love to one another through the commitment and promises you have just made. It is with these in mind that I pronounce you husband and wife. You have kissed 1,000 times, maybe more, but today the feeling is new. No longer simply partners and best friends, you have become husband and wife, and can now seal the agreement with a kiss.
The first time that I met John, it was 8th grade choir class, and that class basically kind of had two groups. There was the group that I was in, there was the other. We were all trying to fight on who was going to get the new kid first. New kid happened to be John. Luckily, our group snagged him up first. I honestly knew you were the one for John the moment that he called me up one night at 12 or 1 in the morning, saying that you had just kissed him. And he wanted to spend the rest of his life with you. And he just wanted to know how to go about it.
Okay, so I'm Kennedy. I suck at public speaking, and since having my son, I am the biggest blubber ever, so let's hope I can make it through this. The three of us have ran in similar circles for the better part of the last 10 years. However, we didn't get close until the day Katelyn and John announced that they were expecting. We were at Cassie's mom's house, and I was just getting my son out of his car seat, who was only a couple of months old at the time. And the second that they announced their exciting news, I looked at them and started bawling. They were happy tears, but there was a lot of them.
I'm Michelle. I'm the mother of the groom, though I feel like I'm really the mother of both of them. My life has been focused primarily on my children. I've been praying for Jonathan's wife since he was a little boy, since he was running around camp, making friends and playing. Always hoping he would choose someone who would let me continue to be in his life. I'm lucky he found her.
Hello, I am Jimmy Charles, and John is my oldest friend in the world. John has always been more of a brother to me than a friend ever for just years. Ever since that time that we were just inseparable. And then John moved away, and I know that was hard on him, it was definitely hard on me. So one time, John was coming over a few weeks before the summer was supposed to start, and he was going to come up and visit, and he had a girl, and he was going to bring her with him just for the day or whatever. And I was trying to be a good friend. And so I tried really hard. She told me her name, I forgot it. And I kept taking John aside and being like, what was her name again? What was her name again? Probably 6 times. Like, I'm just so bad at it. And so John told me that, like, hey Jimmy, it's all right. You don't need to remember her name because it might not come up again. Which is kind of harsh, but that's always the relationship that me and John have had. So we had this thing going forward that, like, anytime I would go and see him, and if there was anybody else there, he would tell me whether or not I needed to remember this person's name or not. And the answer was pretty much always no. Just, I'm so bad at this. But then, one year, John decided to call me before he was going to come and visit, which was strange already. He never called ahead of time. He would just show up. And he called me and he said, Jimmy, I'm coming up to visit and stay, and I'm going to have a girl with me, and you have to remember her name. And right away I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, so when is the wedding starting? Like, this is enormous. Like, this has never happened before. But then that night, I took it as my responsibility as John being like my brother to interrogate her. And usually, I kind of do that as a joke a little bit, maybe a little teasing, but for some reason, with this girl, I knew how important it was, so I decided to interrogate her like she was on trial for murder. And right away when we started talking, I could tell, oh, there are her wings, and there is her halo. Because, like, this girl is so special, because I was trying as hard as I can to make her uncomfortable, and I am really good at making people uncomfortable, like the best. And she just sat there with a smile on her face and just weathered the storm. And so I want to give a toast to choosing love.
It's all in our hands, this life of time that's given to us all. It gathers round each night, each morn. We watch it pass and grow. It is all in our hands, it is all in our hands. With every field and rising sea, can hear the sounds of all, and with every change we'll always be where hope's not lost but found. It is all in our hands, it is all in our hands. It is all in our hands, it is all in our